Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be a super interesting video. I'm going to speak about two things. What were the different jobs that I have done in the corporate world? And number two, what was the associated salary? Okay, I'm going to speak about each one of these job roles that I have had in the past. What was the salary numbers? Then why did I leave the job? And again, to be very honest and transparent, let me put it out there. I did not leave any of these jobs for salary reasons. Okay, it just so happened that I had a good jump every single time with respect to the salary, but I did not move any single time in my corporate life for salary reasons. Okay, so let us jump into the first number and the first job. That is, straight out of undergrad, I started with Accenture. Let me tell you what I was doing. I used to go to the office at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. I used to go directly into the cafeteria, have my breakfast, then directly to go into the table tennis room. Play table tennis for a couple of hours, then have lunch, then again go back, play table tennis, then wait for the office bus to come in, then come back home, relax, and basically get ready for the next day. Right? I used to get paid 17,000 rupees for doing this. Good deal, right? You would take it any day. For doing nothing, if you are getting paid 17,000 rupees, I will take it. Right? The only problem was that I was spending 8 to 9 hours of my day in the office literally doing nothing. Right? So I was getting bored to start off with. I was always looking out for, is there a better place where I can probably work a bit? Okay? So that is what I was doing continuously. And this salary number was okay, but it was not the best of the best. Then after spending 6 months at Accenture literally doing nothing, I moved on to my next job. The reasons for leaving the job are pretty simple. I was not getting any learning, I wasn't doing anything, and the salary number was also pretty low. The second job that I moved to was with MuSigma. This was an other extreme. I was working literally like day in and day out, including weekends, 18-hour days, 19-hour days were pretty common, and I was working on some interesting stuff. I was basically analyzing data of some of the top Fortune companies, right? Fortune 10, Fortune 20 companies, to help them make decisions around, hey, are you making a better marketing decision? Are you making a better supply chain decision based on the data? So this was a very interesting job to start off with. And my salary jumped from 17,000 rupees per month to close to 35,000 rupees per month. In 6 months time, I moved from straight out of college from 17,000 to 35,000. It was a good jump, lot of learnings, lot of work. And in 1 year, I got promoted to a senior business analyst. And there, instead of just looking at the data, I was also looking at 2 or 3 people's work. Right? So this was what I was doing 2 years after my undergrad. And my salary also increased from 35,000 to close to 50,000 per month. This was very interesting phase. Another interesting thing that happened was that my company, MuSigma, was ready to push me to US for a client-side role. Very interesting role, took it over, moved there. But again, to be very, very, very clear, I didn't go to the US to study. I went to the US on work. I never studied in the US, guys. I studied in France. That's a different thing altogether. But I never studied in the US. And I already started working there. So I was already net positive with respect to my ROI of moving to the US. So I went there. My role changed a bit, but I started off with a basic H1B salary in the US. That was 65,000 US dollars per month. Right? Roughly, if you put in 70 rupees per dollar, it's around 30 to 40 lakhs per annum. You can't convert it directly to INR terms, but just to give you an estimate, that's the number. So $65,000 is what is the basic number that I started off in the US. And typically, if you look at the US salaries, every year the growth usually is not more than 10%. Even if you get a 10% salary hike in the US, that's a lot. Okay, but I started off with 65K in the first year. So that was 3 years after undergrad, I was earning around $65,000 in the US. And then I started looking out for other roles. The primary reason now I was looking out for other roles was I was based out of Seattle doing some client work for MuSigma, and I literally hated that place. It was raining every single day. There was no sun, and it is one of the depressing cities in the entire world. Hey, to think about it, Amazon headquarters is there, Microsoft headquarters is there, T-Mobile headquarters is there, probably even Salesforce headquarters is there, right? So a lot of people actually do stay and live and enjoy in Seattle, but for some reason it was not my city. So I started applying to companies in other parts of the US. I applied to almost 300 companies. Kid you not. If you give me 300 likes for this video, I will give you the list of the 300 companies for which I applied. Okay, so I applied to 300 companies, and then the only company which gave me a good offer or the company which I wanted to move in was McKinsey. So that's how I moved in from MuSigma to McKinsey. I also moved only in the data analytics part. Okay, so I was a data analytics guy in MuSigma, doing a lot of data analysis for Fortune 100, Fortune 200 companies. At McKinsey, I was doing a similar thing, but the added thing was I was doing analysis and also communicating the results to the senior clients along with giving recommendations. So my salary had a good 50% jump, right? So my starting salary itself was 50% more than what I was making at MuSigma, right? So it was touching up to $100,000. So jumping from $65,000 to $100,000 in 1 year in the US is very, very, very tough. But I got super lucky with that, right? Tell you very simple reason. This was not motivated by like, hey, I got a good jump. But the reason I got that offer was because I was extremely good with data analytics. I was extremely good with understanding numbers and also understanding what is the number telling with respect to the business. I was focusing completely on my skill, right? Or understanding the nature of the businesses, whichever problem I was solving. So my only simple recommendation or request to you guys, if you are early in your career, please don't worry about the salary that you are making. It might sound ironic, right? But please don't worry about the salary that you are earning, but focus on the learnings that you are getting from each one of these jobs. Even if it is 17,000 or 10,000 that you are earning, you will very quickly jump into $100,000 salary. So you can see that, hey, I jumped from 17,000 rupees per month to $100,000 per year without any education in less than 3.5 to 4 years. It is possible. You just are looking at my career trajectory, and this is definitely possible for each one of you. The only thing you need to focus on is pick out one area where you are currently working and just get better at it. That's it. That's the thing that you need to focus on. Every other thing doesn't really matter when you are a young professional. Okay. Then I worked for a few more years at McKinsey. Then I went to get my MBA from INSEAD, which was again sponsored by McKinsey. So I didn't have to spend money for my MBA. That I got super lucky again with that. Otherwise, it is a $100,000 to $150,000 loan for a lot of people. But I got lucky with respect to sponsorship from McKinsey. So I got my MBA from INSEAD, then I moved back. My salary increased from almost 130,000 to 230,000 USD, right? So I'm just giving you the bare numbers here. I'm not giving you the exact numbers, but just a high level overview of numbers. Not because I wanted to share that, hey, this is what I was earning, but to very quickly and simply give you a outlook that, hey, yes, it is possible to grow from 18,000 per month to $200,000 USD per year, right? Which is almost 30x, right? It is definitely possible to do that if you are focused on your learnings, nothing else, right? You continue to learn, you continue to pick up that skill. For me, it was data analytics. I got really good with data, understanding numbers, understanding the implications on the business, so on and so forth, and it helped me grow in my career. Pick up what that skill is for you. It could be Python, it could be Java, it could be data analytics, it could be digital marketing, anything. Doesn't really matter. Whatever you do doesn't really matter, but you have to be extremely good at it. Pick one skill, be good at it, and see why and how your career will not grow. By the way, these are the 3 jobs that I have done, right? Starting with Accenture, then moved to MuSigma, then finally moved to McKinsey. Now I left McKinsey as well, like in the last 3 years, and moved into the startup space only because I wanted to work in the education space. Right? A lot of work that was happening in the McKinsey with respect to what I was doing was in the corporate world, helping big companies get better with their profitability, with their sales numbers, so on and so forth. But I wanted to make some kind of impact at the grassroots level. That is, helping individuals get better at their careers. So that was a passion area for me. I was super comfortable with my savings. So I wanted to experiment a few things in my life. So I moved out from the corporate race into the startup world. So far, it is working well for me. Right? Now, just to take a step back, these are the 3 jobs that I have done, and these are the 3 learnings that I want to give. Number 1, don't ever focus just on how much you are making in a particular job. Number 2, for you, focus should always be on the learning. Make sure that you are learning one single thing to the best of your abilities and give the best of it shot. Right? Number 3, make sure that you don't have debt in your life at an early stage. Right? Because if you have debt, you will have a lot of obligations, and which will not help you make these risks. For me, it was super simple that I didn't have any student debt, or I didn't have any home loan debts or any other debts. That's the reason why I could leave my McKinsey job and comfortably do whatever I wanted to do. Right? So these are the 3 lessons that I want to leave you with. Hopefully it will help you to think deeper and start focusing on one skill area, and will help you progress in your career. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.